You know those people who just seem to come alive after the sun goes down? The ones who do their best thinking, their most creative work in the quiet hours of the night? Well, today we're going to dive into the why behind that. Let's get into it.
For, forever, society has slapped some pretty unfair labels on night people, right? You know the ones. Lazy, antisocial, unproductive. But is that what's really going on? Or is there something way deeper, maybe something neurological, that explains why some of us find our sanctuary in the dark?
Okay, so let's tackle those stereotypes head on. People who thrive at night get a really bad rap. The common assumption is, they're just avoiding responsibility or they can't get in sync with the normal world. But the science we're looking at today, it tells a completely different story.
Yeah, it turns out this has nothing to do with being lazy or having some kind of character flaw. For a lot of people, the preference for night is directly tied to a specific neurological trait. It's all about how their brain is wired to process the world. It's not a choice. It's just, it's biology.
And here's the key idea, the big one. High sensory processing sensitivity. So what is that? It's basically a trait where the brain just feels everything more. It's like the volume dial on the world is turned way up. All that sensory info, bright lights, background noise, even little movements, it all gets processed way more deeply and intensely. And just to be super clear, this isn't about being weak, not at all. It's about being more receptive. So, okay, if your brain is processing everything that intensely, can you even imagine what the daytime feels like? For someone with high sensory sensitivity, it's not just another day at the office. It's more like a constant, draining sensory battle.
Let's really break down what that battle looks like. Think about it. During the day, you've got nonstop input. Emails pinging, phones ringing, traffic outside. There are sudden movements and cues just everywhere. The bright glare from your screen or the window can feel really harsh. And all that background noise, it just creates this constant static that makes it almost impossible to focus.
Wow, that's a really powerful way to put it, isn't it? Even when you're sitting all by yourself in an office or a coffee shop, the sheer amount of sensory information flooding in can make your brain feel like it's stuck in the middle of a huge, noisy crowd. It's this feeling of being constantly overwhelmed, leaving you with absolutely no room to think clearly.
Okay, so if the day is a total sensory battlefield, then the night becomes a sanctuary. It's this incredible relief. After the sun goes down, the world just shifts. And for a sensitive brain, that shift is everything. The noise level drops, the light gets softer, and that constant barrage of demands finally fades away.
Just look at the difference here. The chaotic stimulation of the day, that gets replaced by a much lower sensory load at night. Those constant interruptions turn into fewer surprises. And what does that do? It lets that scattered awareness transform into steady, focused attention. To put it simply, it's just so much easier to settle your mind and do that deep, meaningful work when your brain isn't fighting a war on 12 different sensory fronts.
But you know what? It's not just about sound and light. The comfort of night goes even deeper. The research points to another factor, one that's often totally overlooked but plays a massive role in our ability to really lock in and focus. And here they are, the combined comforts of the night. So, along with that mental quiet and steady focus, you get thermal comfort. What's that? Well, the air at night is usually cooler, calmer. For a sensitive system, this makes it physically easier to regulate your own body temperature. And when your body isn't working so hard, that frees up a ton of mental resources, making it way easier to concentrate. It's just this total holistic sense of peace.
So, what's the big takeaway here? What does all this mean? It means we really need to reframe how we think about productivity and focus. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. And, maybe that traditional 9-to-5 world just isn't built for everyone. For some people, their most productive hours are just getting started when everyone else's day is winding down.
And that's the real heart of it. A preference for the night? It isn't about avoiding people or running from responsibility. No way. It's a strategic choice, even if it's a subconscious one, to find the absolute best environment, the right conditions, to engage with work, with creativity, with life itself on a much deeper level. It's all about finding clarity in the calm.
And that really brings us to a final thought for you. Because, understanding this whole idea isn't just for night owls. We all have environments where we feel more focused, more calm, more ourselves. So the question I want to leave you with is this: day or night, it doesn't matter. Where can you find your own sensory sanctuary?